It's the third day of All Stars here in Las Vegas with coverage brought to you by Alienware. I'm joined right now by CaptainFlowers. Chat about how the event has been for you because we're winding down. Actually, Are you done now or do you have more to do?
No, I just got done doing the double play-by-play ERF mode game with Dracos, and that's my last one. So the actual work of the event is over for me.
How was that event, or how was that cast?
Honestly, it was a lot of fun. We always get a lot of requests on social media for like me or Riv or Dracos or Quickshot to cast together, and you always have to sort of break people's dreams and tell them you don't have two play-by-plays on the same cast. So to do it on a mode, especially that's just full fiesta like that, it was a good time.
Well, because it does kind of beg the question of what would an analyst provide, you know, like what is color? What would a color commentator bring to a match like that? It's probably not very much.
I would say it's actually zero. You just watch these guys run in and kill each other and themselves over and over and over again, and that's about it. So,
well, how's All Stars been for you? I mean, obviously this is not your first one, but how's it been doing this one?
It's been a lot of fun. Vegas is always a good time to visit. You can go to different parties, go to different casinos and things like that, have a good time once the event is over. And then the event itself is just a much more relaxed atmosphere, especially when you compare it to the fact that the last thing we had done beforehand was Worlds, which is the most intense time of the year for everybody. So it's nicer to just have something that's a little more loose around the collar. Literally, I don't have to wear a tie, which is nice because my neck's giant and those are kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah. And I imagine when you're doing double play-by-play, your neck starts to, the veins start pulsing on that.
Yeah, so last year, actually, the ERF for that one, we did it with me and Vedius and Kobe. And at one point, I just had to look at them and be like, no, you guys got, because I started to get lightheaded because it was just so much. So I like the double play-by-play idea this year. That was a good one.
If ERF was more popular at these things, we'd start, unfortunately, losing our casters. You just would pass out and it would be done.
Yeah, you fall over, you bonk your head, you got to be tagged out until a day later.
So you mentioned enjoying parties and casinos in Vegas. What parties and casinos have you been visiting this trip, Flowers?
All the good ones.
Okay. How have those been?
Good.
What have been your favorite moments of your attendance at those?
What happens in Vegas, Travis?
Okay. Fair enough. Do you have plans tonight?
I just really wanted to use that line. I've never got to use that line in anything before, so I saw my chance and I had to take it.
I'm glad my interviews have given you that opportunity.
Yeah, I'm thankful you opened the doors for me like that, Travis.
Yeah, no worries. I know that the event is ending tonight, so are you going to be doing anything later on?
Yeah, there's an after party that Red Bull is throwing that a lot of people are going to be going to, so I'll go to that. And then I actually don't even know when it starts, so I'll probably go back to my room, take a power nap, go to that whenever it starts, and then once that ends, usually people go off and do their own things from there, so we'll just see where the night takes us.
It starts in an hour and 15 minutes at 10 o'clock.
That's a lot sooner. The event's not even going to be over by then.
Red Bull is excited to kick things off and just get people over there right away.
All right, I can respect it. That's the Chad play. Yeah. Just get the party going. Let's do it.
There you go. I saved you. Anyway, let's talk about the off-season stuff. Have there been any roster trades that you've been very excited about?
I'm super excited to see what happens with Team Liquid and Broxa, because I think that's one that a lot of people look at that team and say, oh, well, you've won the past 4 splits. Now you're changing this up. A lot of people give Smithy a lot of credit for being the guy who sets the team up, facilitates everyone, and his style specifically being good for this roster that has huge carries on it, like Jensen, like Doublelift. And now you've got a guy in Broxa who can play much more aggressively. You've got a guy who's got different champions in his pool. And how will this mesh? Obviously, we know Brox is a damn good jungler. But is he a damn good Team Liquid jungler? I want to say yes, and I'm super excited to see it. So that's been my number one so far.
Roxas seems like the type of guy you would get along with very well.
Yeah, he seems like a cool dude. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to having him around the studio more too. I think it'll be fun.
What about the off-season changes to the game? Is there anything in particular there that's very exciting for you?
I love how the jungle camps have been made to have shorter respawn timers. I know this is a very polarizing issue. People either love it or hate it. But I thought that the timers were just too long last season. It rewarded camping lanes and just clearing minimal amounts of camps, and it felt really hard to be able to lead over your opponent in the jungle matchup. But now, smart pathing is rewarded better. If your opponent decides to camp a lane and it doesn't work out, you can get very far ahead of him by properly farming and taking good ganks instead of just, going to the sporting goods store, picking up a tent, deciding to set that one up in a lane and go camping for a while. You can have smart gameplay, you can have better pathing, and you can end up 3 levels ahead of the guy.
Well, and we should say you're a jungler, so this is exciting for you, I'm sure.
Oh, it's fantastic. And that combined with the fact that there's now the elemental rifts, the ocean rift, I literally call him the therapy dragon. Okay. You can be tilted in the game, your team can be, the score can be 4-20, everything's going awful, but the therapy dragon shows up, it starts raining, everything gets all nice and green, the flowers pop out, and it's a good time.
It's very tranquil. I've never really thought of League of Legends as having that type of feature in it. Normally, as the game goes on, I just get more stressed or frustrated or anxious. So I'm glad that that's going to be prevalent next year. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, any plans for the end of the year?
So every year I always like to go home for around Christmas and New Year's for a week to go see family back in Ohio. It's a little colder than it is out in California, but I do like to go home and see everyone for that, so I'll be doing that again this year. And then honestly, just taking it easy before the next season kicks off. Because once January rolls around, we're right back into it for spring. So enjoy the R&R while I can, and then hopefully 2020 is even better.
Did you get an invite to the Kobe and Dash vacation trip?
No.
Because I did not either.
Okay, we're in the same club here. That I believe the problem is if we examine the name critically, Kobe and Dash vacation trip. Unfortunately, we don't fall into either of those Venn diagrams or the overlap.
But I'm not sure if the branding needed to dictate the product, if you know what I mean, right?
Okay.
Like that's just because that's the name doesn't necessarily mean that that's what it needs to be. In fact, they could be the headliner. I would not even mind if they were the headliners, and we were like the opening act.
I mean, I could work with that. Think about League of Legends. Not every champion is a literal legend. Yes. They're just, some Skarner's a scorpion. Sometimes maybe that trip needed a scorpion, Travis. I could have been that scorpion.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you might need a different angle next year if you're trying to get into this thing. I'm not sure if I could be the scorpion for this trip is going to get you there. But I don't know. I find it disappointing. And I did talk to them earlier today. And they first said that they were going to unplug from everything. And then later in the interview, Kobe said, follow us both on Instagram because we're going to be updating a ton. And then Dash gave me...
That's the most Kobe thing I can imagine.
And then Dash explained that they actually have a social media content calendar strategy where they'll be posting in the evenings, which sounded very not unplugged to me.
This sounds very much plugged in to a degree that's probably more so than just normal. I guarantee you their social media is more delicately attended to during this vacation than mine will be chilling out at my apartment playing video games.
Yeah. And that's what I'm going to be doing too. So really, who needs this stupid fucking vacation? We don't.
Not necessary.
Anything you want to say?
I just want to say... Thanks, everybody, for all the good times throughout the 2019 season. This is the last professional event that we have this year. So, this wraps it up, with that Earthcast. That's the end of it. And I'm super excited for 2020, everything that we're going to be seeing with new teams, new rosters, new League of Legends, new Drakes, all this fun stuff. I can't wait for it. And thank you once again for having me on throughout all our fantastic interviews this year, Travis. 2019 has been a good one.
Thank you so much, Flowers, for the interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things All-Stars right here on my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching that interview. The holidays are upon us. I just want to say you should go check out alienware.com/Travis when you're looking for gifts or making your wish lists or writing to Santa. Anyway, they've got some great stuff over there. Please check them out. There's a link in the description of this video. Really appreciate it.